uh, excuse me? um, excuse me? Guys. Thank you. Well, welcome to our very esteemed anime club. Glad you all found your way here. We are in the VTube County Library storage closet right now. They were nice enough to let me use the space to hold our anime club on Wednesdays. I was hoping that the signs that I drew in highlighter and pasted on the walls were enough to guide you all here, and it looks like it worked. I'm your esteemed club president for the next half of an eternity, or for however long the library keeps the anime club going before they kick us out, like they did the last time I tried to do something like this. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I'm trying to keep this bit up, but I'm such a bad actor. Anyway, hi everybody. Welcome to the stream. This is the first of what I am choosing to call Anime Club streams, where I have appropriately, as you can see, decorated the scenery to reflect the feeling of going to a public anime club. The whole point is that we'll watch one anime every week, and then on Wednesday nights, we're starting a little late, but the goal is to try to shoot for 8 o'clock on Wednesday nights. We'll come together and we'll talk about it, and then I'll post the next anime on my Twitter. Play, rinse, repeat until I get absolutely sick of this, or my soul is sucked out of my body on the end of days. Before we get into anything, I would like to do a little bit of stream housekeeping. Once again, I have told myself that I would make a script, and once again, I have failed to do that. So I'm going to try to ramble off the top of my head as many things as I can remember. So we do take donations. ! Donate in chat will give you the Streamlabs link via Nightbot. If you are too nervous to use chat commands, then there is a big donate button on my Twitch About page. All you gotta do is click that button, pitch a couple of dolans to help the anime club retain a good budget, for body pillows and Pocky and ramen. Unfortunately, the anime club's budget will not be going towards in-house anime watching. You're gonna have to source the anime on your own. Oopsie daisy, sorry. I asked over and over again. I tried really hard, but the library would not lend me use of their projector, and they threatened to shut the whole club down if I asked them again. So if you want to ask them yourself, then feel free, but for the most part, and any money you donate is going to go towards the snacks. Sorry about that. For real, I use it to fill my gas tank and pay my bills. Thank you very much for your support. Anyway, if you'd rather know exactly where your money is going, I also have a Throne page. That's !Throne in chat, or there is, once again, a button, should be something like blah blah wish list in my on my About page. Throne is a site where you can safely buy gifts for your favorite creators, so that none of you or your creator's information is shared over the interwebs, and you can have safe transactions and whatnot. Not sponsored. All of the stuff on my Throne page is stuff that I deem necessary for streaming. It's stuff like soundproofing and better systems. I know I need a new hard drive, so a new hard drive is on there, but there's stuff for all ranges of prices. I have digital gift cards on there too. If you buy one, I think there's like 5, 10, 25. I will buy a video game on the system for the card that you buy, and if you buy one that is $50 or more, you can decide what game I buy and stream with it. So those are the rules there. We do have an art tag also. It's #Piptograph. At the end of each stream, I try to check the tag, so if you make any stream relevant art, you can go ahead and post it to Twitter, #Piptograph, and feel absolutely free to share your work, because I'll show it on the stream and I'll repost it to my millions of adoring little Chadpoles, and you'll get so much exposure, it's crazy. Man, I can't think of an artist exposure joke fast enough. I'm so sorry. But yeah, if you don't know how to spell pictograph, it is in my Twitter bio. You can also hit !art in chat to get the spelling for that. And I think that's about it. So today, I announced it on my Twitter, and I'm going to be announcing the majority of the anime that we watch on my Twitter. So if you want to follow me at Frogberryz, socials in chat. I announced it on my Twitter sometime last week that the anime of choice for this week would be Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World. And so we're going to be talking about that. I'm going to do a little like overview episode by episode. And then I'm going to be talking about, my thoughts and feelings. If you guys have any thoughts and feelings, feel free to share them in chat. But to give people a little bit of time to file in, I have decided that we're going to pop into U-Quiz. And we're going to do some anime personality quizzes to kind of kick off the night. So if you guys are cool with that and you're down with that, then we'll go ahead and get started. I'll get my BGM ready. Apricari, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the pond. Nice to have you here. BGM, where's my BGM? There you go. Oh shoot, no, I'm gonna blow out your eardrums. I need to turn it down. Alright, there we go. BGM. Epic. Okay. And that up like maybe like just a tad. If that gets too loud, feel free to let me know. Let us get started then. I've never used U-Quiz before, so this is gonna be a time. I have made a secondary anime club screen. Shove my JPEGs down there. For viewing things. We're gonna zoom in just like a tad. We're a platform for people that love quizzes. There's something I find interesting about that. I'm gonna take the music down just a little bit. Something I find interesting about this is that it kind of rises when all of the other sort of like, I don't know, like quiz platforms have kind of died out, like BuzzFeed. Does anybody even use BuzzFeed.com anymore? Okay, I don't really care about your cookies, but Ivy Kyrie is raiding with a party of 7. Oh my god, hello. Kara raid, oh my gosh. It sounds like there's a fellow frog in chat. Hello everybody. How are you guys? How is your stream? Oh my gosh. Welcome, fellow Kara raiders. Thank you guys. How was your stream? What'd you guys do? Thank you for all the first time chats. You guys are great. I know, thanks. Don't tell me about this. Thank you guys. We played a little Witch in the Woods. Ooh, that sounds fun. Well, to all those who don't know, my name is Pippi. I am a strawberry frog and forest spirit, and today we are doing the first in my anime club series where we do a discussion about anime. To give some people time to file in, we're going to be doing some anime personality quizzes, but after that we're going to be discussing Konosuba. So if you guys are cool with that, you down with that, we'll get started here in a second. It doesn't really matter. If you care about spoilers for Konosuba, then you can feel free to sit this one out. But it doesn't really matter if you've seen it or not, because I'm going to kind of go over episode by episode, and we're going to do a thing. But first of all, we're gonna take some. Oh, we're opening too many menus. We're gonna take some we're just gonna type anime into the search bar. Anime quiz of ultimate awesomeness. What would I look like as an anime girl? Choose the anime characters and I'll tell you what I think of you. That sounds judgmental. Which one of my vocal tics are you based on your anime opinions? Hold on, I'm desperate for that. God, the music is like too loud and then it's too quiet. Alright. My name is PP. Pick a Haikyuu boy. Oh god, I haven't seen Haikyuu. I'm trying to catch up on Demon Slayer. Okay, so I haven't seen Demon Slayer, but I do kind of like wanna watch it for Anime Club. I think it'd be really fun. Oh, thank God, the answer for me. IDK who these people are. Thank you so much. Poppywright, thank you so much for joining the pond. Good to have you here. God damn it, they're woofing out. Like, I haven't seen it. Anyway, I'd like to do it for Anime Club, but because it has 24 episodes, I'm a little bit hesitant, but if we do go from doing like 12 to 14 episodes to 24 episode anime, I think I would do, like, I think Demon Slayer is the first 24 hitter that I'd do. Shalnark, Killua, Komugi, Pito, Hisoka, Illumi, Kite, Leori. I don't know who these people are. I'm so sorry. Doing wrong. Boku no Hero Academia. Oh, okay, I've seen the first season of this. I can do this. Do they have Ida? Yes, I like Ida. I like the guy with the jet legs. And if Ida is the wrong guy I'm thinking of, then don't talk about it. Don't worry about it. Pick a Naruto character. Okay. When I was, this is gonna get a little bit personal, but when I was in like 5th grade, I had a crush. Was it a crush? I'm not sure. I have a difficult time sorting through my feelings as a child, so I'm not sure if this was a crush or if I just like really wanted to be closer friends with her, because I wasn't the type of kid to like go hang out at people's houses. People I saw at school, that was it. Like, I saw you at school and never again. But I had a girl that I thought I maybe perhaps had a crush on, and she was like super into Naruto Shippuden, and like she was like obsessed with the Akatsuki clan, and I like would sit and I would listen to her info dump about the Akatsuki clan every single day of my life. That was the only exposure I've ever had to Naruto Shippuden before and since, and that's the only thing I know about Naruto. So I am here to pick somebody I recognize, and I don't recognize any of these people, so damn it. Hinata is the purple one, right? I like purple. I like purple. Oh wait, there's Gaara. Gaara's a sand guy. Purple or sand? Okay, I like sand. Sand makes me think of like Sonic Riders. Pick an AOT character. Okay, I know this one. I saw AOT season 1 when it like first came out, and then I was like, oh my god, I'll watch season 2, and then I didn't. Like, AOT is definitely on my list. Hanji all the way. Okay, listen. Hanji unmatched. Pick a Kakegurui girl. Oh, I haven't seen Kakegurui either. Oh, see, this is why I'm doing this series, because I haven't seen any of these shows. Mary, Yumeko. See, I don't even know what the characters' names are. There's not even an option that I haven't seen this one. Okay, we're just gonna go based on who has the coolest name. We have Mary, we have Yumeko, Runa, Midari, Kirari. That's cute. Itsuki, Sayaka, Yumemi, Yuriko, and Miloslava. Like Yugoslavia? They just assume you know them. They're like, yeah, it's on Netflix. You've seen this shit. Pick a free boy. See, I know this one. I'm old enough to know this one. Haruka, Rin. I don't like develop anime crushes anymore, but like I want to say that Rin Matsuoka was like the last anime crush I ever had before like I just stopped doing that. Pick a Yuri on Ice boy. Fun fact, besides Spy Family, which I'm watching right now, Yuri on Ice is like the only anime that I watched as it was coming out. What about Kushel Emil? And fun fact, I've deleted most of it from my memory. So, ooh, it's difficult. I feel like I liked Otabek. Otabek was kind of a king, if I remember correctly. BSD. What is BSD? Wait. Oh, Bungo Stray Dogs. I've seen like one episode of that. Oh. We're gonna say Dazai. If that's a trash opinion, I'm sorry. I don't know who this man is. I've seen one episode of Bungo Stray Dogs. Pick a Danganronpa character. Oh, I'm being shot as we speak. I had a friend who had a Danganronpa phase. Does that count? I like Nagito because he's the guy. There are a lot of memes with Anya invading the multiverse. I feel like I'm gonna ask about that, but I don't want to get spoiled. I'm like caught up on the episodes, but if that's a manga thing, then oh. Blows out non-existent candles. This one is a breathing tick, and 0 out of 10. I hated it. It hurts really bad. No, I got their least favorite tick. I keep blowing out until my brain says, okay, you can stop, but like, happy birthday to you. No, no, I got her least favorite tick, or their least favorite tick. Everyone else got bonk. Oh, I'm crying. I'm actually offended that bonk. Wow. I wasn't even good enough for a bonk. Damn. I'm sorry to this person. There's a bunch of memes. Anya showing up in different manga series like Naruto. Oh my god, that sounds cute. That sounds cute. Love how I'm having chat explain the memes to me like I'm a boomer. Okay. Can assign you a Sonic character? Okay, for people who are new to my chat, I'm obsessed with Sonic. I have to do this one. I'm Pippi the Froghog. Pippi the Froghog. Pick a color. Green's not here, so we'll pick pink. Pick a song lyric. Okay, looks like we have I Am All of Me. We have whatever Sonic. Okay, Sonic's theme in the adventure games. It doesn't matter. Why did I want to say Don't Stop Believin'? Why did I want to say Don't Stop Believin'? Okay, I don't know this one. I genuinely don't know this one. That's embarrassing. I'm a fake fan. I'm a fake fan. No, it's a lie. What are these? What are like these three? I feel like I know this one. I don't know what this one is. What's your favorite Sonic games? I'm a big fan. I like the adventure games, and then I like from a classic perspective. I like, for me, probably adventure. Good taste. From like a classic perspective, I really like Sonic 3 and Sonic 2. I want to say like Sonic 2 has like a really dear place in my heart. So I own Sonic Mega Collection on the GameCube. We're gonna go I Am All of Me because I don't know, I've been bumping to that song lately. How are you? Fuck you. Oh my god. I have Sonic Mega Collection on the GameCube, and I'm doing great. I think you had to play Sonic 1 20 times and then Sonic 3D Blast 20 times, and you can get a game that is just blue spheres, like the special stages. Sonic Adventure DX for the GameCube. Love that game. Oh my god, absolutely. Good taste. Clap. Yeah, on Sonic Mega Collection, you can like just have a game that is like the blue sphere special stages from Sonic 3. Hypnotic. Absolutely hypnotic. It feels like being on drugs in the best way. Pick an emoticon. I use this one a lot. I use like the regular smile, like with my boyfriend constantly, but there's something so like smug about this one. Like, this one knows your IP address. I kind of like that one. Peace, mayhem, or both? Mayhem. Pick a method of death. What? Hold up. I'm more of an XD person. Respect. Old age, falling off a building, a fight gone wrong, drowning, or overworking yourself. I'm gonna go out like a G. I'm gonna go fight go wrong. I'll get knifed. I don't want to drown. I'm sorry. Do you sleep well? Fuck you. Let's play which answer will get you the result Shadow the Hedgehog for $500. I generally sleep pretty okay. And if I don't sleep well, I usually have ways like I'll take melatonin or I'll play some Minecraft for a while. Pick a flower. Ivy, white carnation, wolfbane, yellow iris, black tulip, sage, white orchid, buttercup. I like carnations. Carnations are fun. I got lazy, so end of quiz. Tell me something cool. Hi, I'm Pippi. I like Forg. Rouge the bat. Let's go. Rouge the bat. You always know what you want and you'll get it through any means. You're mature and sassy, enjoying teasing others and concealing your true self away for the sake of mystery. This is not true at all, but I love Rouge, so I'll take it. Okay, we'll do a few more and then we'll start talking about Konosuba. Anime. I want to do something like off the rails. Which one of my favorite mecha anime should you watch based on some nonsense questions? Okay. Why do you like frogs? Do you have a frog pet? Okay, here's a story about my history with frog pets. I've never had a pet frog in my life. I can't even like tell you like when I started to like frogs, but like one day I was just looking at a frog and I was like, damn. And my brain was like, y'all mind if I hyper focus? And that was it. That's my history with frogs. So my grandmother lives out of state, somewhere else. I'm talking to you out of character right now. So my grandmother lives out of state and she had an African clawed frog. She was a teacher. Yeah, 10 out of 10 backstory. Yeah, I was just looking at a frog one day and I was like, yeah, yeah, me too. She sure is one of the amphibians of all time. But she had an African clawed frog that she brought in. She was a teacher, a preschool teacher. That she brought it in as a class pet, but then she had to bring it home because COVID. And so the frog was just kind of chilling. And she was like, hey man, do you want this frog? And I was like, yeah, I want that frog. Like, I want that frog so bad. Because he's a little freak. I don't know if you know this about African clawed frogs, but they are one of the easiest frogs to take care of. They will eat, there are these little pellets that you can buy from the pet store that are for like bottom feeder fish, like catfish and stuff. They'll eat those. Like, you don't have to feed them live crickets, and they spend most of their time in the water. So that's bussin'. Amazing. I was like, yeah, I want the frog. Long story short, though, I never got the frog. There were some complications. I ended up moving out of my mom's house and into my dad's house. And my dad was like, no, you can't have the frog. And I was like, anyway, that's the reason why I don't have a frog. But while I was preparing to get the frog, I did a lot of research on African clawed frogs. And I learned that they are in the amphibious family of Pipidae. Which are a class of, I don't remember if it's their family or their class, and personally I don't care, but it's a group of sort of primitive frogs. They don't, their legs aren't really strong enough for them to hold their support on land, and that was around the time that I was conceptualizing maybe creating content for a while, and so I just took the family name of Pipidae and I shortened it to Pippi, and so I am Pippi. And that's your history lesson. Pip. Anyway, we're gonna do this quiz because my boyfriend is really into Mobile Suit Gundam, and I've never seen meanwhile, I've never seen a mecha anime in my entire life, unless you count. I've seen a couple episodes of a few of the Voltron shows. Like, I've seen some of the original, I've seen some of Legendary Defender, I've seen some in between. That's the only like mecha related thing I've ever had, so we're gonna do this. Pick a sign my roommates and I have hung on our ceilings. And head empty, no thoughts. Go mental, go Jerry 2020. I love drain boards. I don't know, man. I was gonna hit head empty, no thoughts, but I'm kind of vibing with go mental, go Jerry 2020. I don't know what that's about, but I'm in for it. Select a purposely awful to play video game. Pathologic, Russian COVID simulator. Also, there are gay doctors and existential crises. Or Drakengard, precursor to the Nier games. A murder prince and his dragon girlfriend fail to save the world from alien babies. Don't play if sensitive to literally anything. I don't know, man. I'm vibing with the gay doctors. I'm here for it. Which one of these insanely popular anime I have not seen much of do you prefer? You do not have to know anything about them. My Hero Academia, Haikyuu, Jujutsu Kaisen, or Demon Slayer. I've seen the first season of My Hero Academia. It's good. I've tried to watch Haikyuu multiple times. It hasn't stuck yet, but I'm gonna keep trying. Jujutsu Kaisen, I think it's Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu is like the martial art. Jujutsu Kaisen is definitely on the list, but since Demon Slayer is the one that I'm most familiar with, I'm gonna hit Demon Slayer. Music lyrics question. Lyrics that are very long that you did not read. There was no option to skip, so you picked one at random. Meme song lyrics. You don't like the song the set of lyrics comes from, but they're the only ones you know, so you pick this one. You somehow not only know all the song lyrics, but you know exactly which ones fit you. You are a witch, and in Salem, you would have been the first to go. I don't know who wrote this, but I love them. Shit, I forgot the question I was gonna ask. It's okay, take your time. Which H2O just add water fish girl are you? Wait. It should just add water. Oh, I've never heard of this. Okay, well, I was expecting to be excited by some anime girlies, but that's not what this is. Okay, Emma, the uptight one who utterly baffles me. Ricky, the cool one who everyone I know and that's like 5 people likes. Bella, the one with the weirdest powers. She turns into jelly, goop, polymers, or Cleo. She's there too. I don't know. I'm liking the sound of polymers, and Bella makes me think of Bella Twilight. Which one of the starter pack mecha shows do you prefer? Don't say prefer. I don't know what that is. I don't know any of these. Okay, that's not true. I've seen a little bit of Gurren Lagann, and I've seen a little bit of Evangelist, and neither of these I've seen. Honestly, my love for Cruel Angel's Thesis wins that one over. Would you watch Kamen Rider, the show about guys in rubber suits beating each other to death with plastic toys while on motorbikes? Also, they're hot and sad. Yeah, I love hot and sad people. How do you like to watch your anime? I buy the Blu-rays and put them in my fancy video game machine, legal streaming like a modern person. Half the fun is hunting the show down on obscure backwaters of the internet while I used to use Kiss Anime. Oh, this one is sad. This one has so much sadness in it. Unfortunately, I'm a legal eagle. I legal stream. I like the simplicity. I am willing to pay for the convenience. What's your stance on video game emulation? Wonderful human right and historical necessity. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know how to read the rest. Favorite color: red, blue, green, yellow, green. I'm a Frog. Frog F-150. What is your excuse for not watching mecha anime? Oh no. Oh no. I do watch mecha anime. Actually, I just wanted to see if your shit taste could recommend something decent. Isn't just robots punching each other? No thanks. Dead genre. Lol. Where on earth do I find any of these shows? They're all ancient and buried in the dark corners of the internet. Backlog too long. These shows are like 50 episodes at least. These two just took a shotgun and killed me like in Fortnite. Weird neck beards. Mechs aren't realistic. They're just goofy anime crap, or I don't watch anime. Honestly, I want to say my biggest problem is finding any of them. Pick a weapon. Gun, sword, gun, sword. What you expected me to say anything else? Gun, sword? Pick an MMO I played. World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV. The critically acclaimed MMORPG with free trial up to level 60, including the beloved Heavensward experience. Yeah. Does Animal Crossing count? Lol. You believe in astrology. I know my whole birth chart, dude. It's comforting, and I like reading my future in the stars. I read it for shits and giggles. It's harmless. No, I don't. It's fake and bullshit. I don't know. Like, I like kind of know my star chart, but it's not like comforting to me. So I guess, you know, harmless, like fortune cookies. Yeah, kind of like meme time. Just toward you now. I don't know how to use a computer. Oh God. Why are these all funny? I hate it. You do not spark joy. Goodbye. Okay, I'm vibing with either this Christmas tree girl or Sailor Moon. I got it. Just look at her face. I can't say no to her. You're done. Write whatever and remember you get what you get and don't get upset. I am upset. Just watch You See Gundam already, you bitch. Oh, don't. No, come on. Okay, now you're thinking, Gundam? Really? Yes, go watch Gundam in release order. You can watch the 079 movies instead of the series. They'll give you that. Just do not watch the Zeta movies. Skip the AUs. Use the wiki if you're that confused. No excuses. I will not explain myself. You will understand soon enough. Oh! They wounded me. They wounded me. Wait, hold on. I forgot to tell my squad I was live. I'm actually not gonna do that. I get so embarrassed when people I'm like, no IRL, no I'm live. Alright. Guess we're watching Gundam. I say that like it's a bad thing. It's not really a bad thing. Gundam's been on the list for like a year and a half. I don't even really have an excuse as to why I haven't done it yet. I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I definitely want to come back to this, but we did get started a little late, so we should probably hop on talking about Konosuba. Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World, is a television show. Pippy Sippy. Now is the part of the show where Pippy takes a sippy. There's actually like one thing I want to grab first. I want to get a picture of all the characters so I can like point to who I'm talking about. Love you cakes. Oh my god, my mom's in chat. Hi mom, how are you? That's so cool, my mom. I need a picture of the characters of Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World, or something like that. Bum 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 bum. I don't know who, okay, hold up. This is too many. This is too many. This is too many. Hold on. I need like, okay, for context, we watched season 1. I think there's 2 seasons. We only watched season 1 this week. Because the main part of Anime Club is that I want it to be accessible. Like, I want people to be able to pop in on the weekly and just be like, oh, like, you know, we watched a thing and now we're talking about it, and then it'll be a different thing next week. So we're not dragging on for weeks about, you know, like one show. I want people to be able to come in, know what we're talking about, and then leave. You know what? Yeah, this picture's actually, no, that's a really low poly picture, and it'll change my loving audience's opinion of me. Come on, give me something good. So basically what's gonna happen is I'm going to find an image of the cast of Konosuba, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go episode by episode and then share my opinion. Feel free to engage in discussion. I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, you disagree with me, blocked and reported. The whole reason I'm having this is so that I can talk about anime with people, so that's cool. I don't want a WebP file. You know what? They all look horribly off model in this picture. Let's use that one. That's epic. Now this is epic. Okay. Let's get a picture going. Konosuba cast. Bum bum bum. A quick summary of the anime show. Oh bestie, this is not gonna be quick. This is not gonna be quick. Leave now if you think it's gonna be okay. Perfect. Yeah, this is it. This is this is Konosuba. Yeah, alright. Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough. Konosuba. Okay, so Konosuba is an isekai. Its first season is 11 episodes long. And for the uninformed, the isekai is the genre of anime where usually a guy, usually a nerd, something happens to him, he dies, he decides to read a funny book, and he gets blue skidooed into a fantasy world, and then things happen. Usually there's boobs, not always though. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with some blue skidoo shit, and I don't know, hold on, when did this one come out? Because I remember this is like, Konosuba is one of the big isekai the last 5 years or so. Isekai. Okay, yeah, like when did it come out? When did it come out? Bestie. When did it hold on, release date. Sorry, I wasn't specific enough. 2016. Yeah, this is one of the bigger ones in the last couple of years. I recall that there was a period of time where I could not scroll very far without seeing an explosion meme about Megumin. But yeah, so let's get started. I'm going to introduce you to the characters, and then we're going to go through my episode notes. So what I did was I went down the line and I wrote like a short summary of each episode, and then, you know, I wrote my further thoughts down near the bottom. So I'm going to read you the character notes that I have written down. From left to right, This little blue lady right here is Aqua. I wrote down that she's a Styx goddess, like the river Styx. She helps people cross after they die into the afterlife. I wrote ass. Kinda stupid, archpriest class, and the living embodiment of bimbo. This next dude right here is our titular protagonist. He is the one who got isekai'd. His name is Kazuma Sato. He's our main man. He's an otaku. He got hit by a tractor, kind of. He's an arrogant shit. He has garbage stats, and he kills 2 frogs, so he automatically sucks. After him, this little dorky red witch lady right here. This is Megumin. She's the Archwizard class. She gives me heavy Chunibyo vibes. She loves explosion magic. Has a cool fucking hat and can only use explosion once per day. And then finally, this wonderful yellow maiden over here is my favorite. Her name is Darkness. She's a knight and a complete weirdo. Ass accuracy, she can't hit anything, and she's a masochist. So that's what we've got. You should know the whole thing about Konosuba is that everyone sucks. That's the whole point of the show. So we're just gonna go episode by episode, and as I talk, I'm gonna go over some of my additional notes, and we'll go through. Please don't kill me for my opinions, is all I want to say. Welcome to the internet. Okay, so in episode 1, our titular shut-in protagonist, Kazuma Sato, leaves his house, as he only does on rare occasions, to pick up a new video game. On his way back, he sees a classmate, fat question mark, walk in front of a truck, so he shoves her out of the way and dies of shock, thinking he's going to be hit. That's the first thing about this show, is that he doesn't actually get hit by the tractor. He thinks he's gonna get hit, and then he's so paralyzed by the fear that he has a heart attack and dies, and everyone laughs at him. He poofs into purgatory and meets Aqua, our resident blue lady. Roll intro. So the intro of this show, I wrote, like, it's not like a big, like, concern of mine, but it's really nothing to write home about. Like, it's fine. It's a fine anime opening. Okay, so Kazuma finds out that he wouldn't have died had he not pushed the girl out of the way, so his death was completely worthless. Aqua gives him some options, either reincarnate or go to heaven, and then ass shot. Here's the thing. They don't directly tell you this. I think it's mentioned somewhere in the light novels, but they never tell you this in the show. Aqua doesn't wear any underwear, and I have a counter going of how many times the camera decides to focus on Aqua's bare ass. It's actually, okay, because of what I'm counting, it's probably lower than Konosuba watchers think it's going to be, because I counted only the scenes that I was paying attention to that for whatever reason Aqua's bare ass was just like the focal point. So there are like situations where she's like walking and like you can kind of see like the bottom of her butt. I didn't count those. I only counted the ones where she was like hunched over and for whatever reason a scene that has nothing to do with Aqua's ass features mostly Aqua's ass. So that gives us ass counter number 1. She basically says heaven sucks and so does reincarnation, so she offers to send him to a new world to be a hero against a demon lord. Sato's a smart shit and he chooses to take Aqua instead. She allows him to take one item and he decides to take her because she's a goddess. Aqua's replacement arrives, and then ass shot number 2. This gives Aqua clinical depression and she has a meltdown in the street. She like starts grabbing him and shaking him and crying, like she's literally screaming and crying and throwing up in public, like, how could you do this to me? You are a horrible person. They go to a guild and Kazuma smooth talks his way in but can't pay the registration fee to become adventurers, so Aqua begs a monk for caste, and that rolls us into ass shot number 3. They get registered and Kazuma's shots are dog shit. Aqua is OP but also dumb as rocks. There is some kind of working montage where we get ass shot number 4 and Aqua vomiting rainbows at the same time. They suddenly can't remember that they didn't come to be wages, and so they promise to go kill monsters. In my additional notes, I have, why is Aqua specifically the goddess of guiding young Japanese people into the afterlife? I don't think I've ever heard of such a concept, but here she is. If you die in America, you're screwed. Sorry, you don't get Aqua. Um, at some point, Cosmo says Aqua is sort of hot, and I disagree. Like, she's fine. You can't deny that her design is kind of iconic. When I say her design, I mean specifically her hair. I mean the hair loop. The hair loop has been everywhere in the last like couple years. But yeah, like she's okay. Like the whole show kind of suffers from the fact that its art style doesn't really like allow for a lot of like attractive looking characters. Literally the first rando they meet sounds like he shares a voice actor with the based shopkeeper from Shield Hero, and that's what I noticed a lot watching this show, is that the cast between this show and Shield Hero, they share like a lot of roles, which is really cool. I like that. I have a lot of notes for episode 1, and then like varying for the rest of the episodes. Cosmo literally calls Aqua useless for things that are 100% his fault. So like he chooses to bring Aqua to this world and then like shits on her for not knowing anything about it. And that's like a running problem with Cosmo in the show, is that he just blames people for things that are 100% his fault. We'll get into that later. And if you couldn't tell, this anime is not my favorite, and it really sucks because I wanted to start the anime club series with something that like I'm so tired, but like yeah, me too, but like they're into it. But I'm scared I'm gonna get canceled. Very cool milk. I really wanted to come into anime club with something that I really enjoyed. Like I wanted to do something that like I could speak very highly of, and this show's really not it. Like hippy sippy. It's not the worst. Like I don't hate it. See here, I'll prove to you that I don't hate it. See, I got myself. Hold on. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Oh, here it is. I got myself a nice little darkness pop-up parade. See, I bought a cool pop-up parade. So now you can't cancel me for not liking the show, because I don't hate the show. She's gonna sit there. I think the show is perfectly fine for what it is. Frog12, thank you. Hello, how are you? Hold on, let me say something coherent so that the people in chat don't think I hate the show. I don't hate the show. Like the show is fine. What brought this up? It just like it suffers in some areas, and I do think that there are some parts of it that are really good, and I will make sure to point out the parts that I thought were really good. But for the most part, unfortunately, a lot of this will be me kind of airing my grievances with a show that I'm not really like I don't have any like open hatred. I'm just disappointed is all, and I'll go into that later. But for now, that's kind of where we're sitting. I thought in episode 1, I thought Aqua's pajamas were like super cute, and luckily for me, there are lots of scenes where Aqua wears her pajamas, and her pajamas are adorable. The ending was also mega cute. I gotta go rest, but have fun. Thank you so much, very cool milk. I'm okay. How about you, Frogget? I'm doing okay. We finished up some anime personality quizzes. Now we're talking about Konosuba. Yeah, I think like the take on like anime endings that have like unique sounds, like the guitar for like the ending of Konosuba season 1 is like, it's really nice. Like it's really good to have something like a little more unique to like wrap up every episode, and I like it. Oh, the blinky, yes, my blinky, yes, my blinky. You like my blinky? It's okay, and I like it. It's fine. The ending is super cute. Okay. That's all the notes I have for episode 1. Let's get into episode 2. Episode 2, Aqua's being an ass and gets herself eaten by the coolest frog I've ever seen, but then they kill it, so that makes this the worst show in the world. Then she gets eaten a second time, and then they meet Megumin, this the little red exploding girl I talked about. She's a demon archwizard. I mean, like, she's a child of a demon worshiper and an archwizard. And she likes to blow things up. The only spell she knows is explosion, and she can only use it once a day. They go hunt for more frogs together, and the aqua eat count rises to 3. She gets eaten 3 times by a frog. Megumin can only use explosion once, though, so then the Megumin eat encounter rises to 1. She only uses explosions simply because she loves it. There's a rape joke somewhere in here, and it's not funny. I don't remember what the joke is. I remember I wrote that down. Oh, it was something like a bunch of town people are like, those women are covered in slime when you like the frog spit, and they're like, oh my god, what did you do to those women, blah blah. That's another thing that you're gonna find, is that I'm not vibing with this show's comedy. And I think that was the most disappointing part, is the fact that, like, every review I saw of this show, like every recommendation I saw for this show, I'm gonna like shrink this up so it's not eating me alive. Every like thing I saw about Konosuba season 1 was like about how funny it was. Like everyone was like, oh my god, like you have to watch this show, it is so funny. Like it's an isekai comedy, it's like really hilarious. And like this show wasn't funny at all. Like, I'm sorry to say it so harshly, but like, if this is your humor style, then that's like great for you. And I'm really glad that like you can enjoy like the humor that the show has to offer, because there is a certain level of like, I don't like meta jokes to it, like jokes that sort of mess with the kind of format that a show like this would take rather than the narrative itself. And if you like that kind of thing, then that's fantastic. But for me, it was just like really stale, and I'll like, there's a reason for it. Like I did like pinpoint a reason for it, and I'll get into it going in as we go further. It's not just that I didn't like it because I didn't like it, because there's a right and a wrong way to like have the kind of humor style that Konosuba has, and it does it right and then immediately wrong. Anyway, Darkness arrives at the very end of the episode and begs them to join the party, all moaning and shit. Darkness is the yellow lady at the very right. Okay, my episode 2 notes. I said that Megumin was a cutie, and she is. I think she has like a really cool hat. I love the little face. I love her, like, I think the combo of like red, brown, and yellow is like really solid, and I like that a lot. I kind of understand why like she was the one that I like never like saw the end of when the show was like super popular. The staffs are lovely. Like the weapon designs, Megumin and Aqua's staffs are really nice. I like that Aqua's is a flower and it like blooms when she uses it. That's like a really cute touch, and I like that a lot. The animation for the explosion spell also kind of fucks. I am an avid viewer of Studio Trigger, so I think like the rainbow sparkles and explosions are like the peak animation, peak action. And I said, yeah, okay, this is my first jab at the comedy, is that the useless jokes are getting like really old. Because I think it's like several times throughout the show they make like, oh yeah, like they're useless. They sure are useless. Laugh now, please. It just gets a little old by episode 2, and if you're sick of it by episode 2, then you're gonna be sick of it by episode 11, because it really doesn't stop. Episode 3 is Darkness is a total fucking freak, and I kind of love her. Cosma thinks that she's hot because of course he does. Once again, the show's art style doesn't really allow for like attractiveness in its characters, but like I can see Darkness. I have a thing. I definitely think the trope of blonde knight with ponytail and braid is definitely successful. That's why Saber is so iconic. That's why Forte from Rune Factory 4 is best girl. Come on, man. Come on. It's a tried and true method. You gotta do it. Unfortunate that she wasn't the blue character, but I do like her yellowness. I like her a lot. She's a friend named Chris who's a thief, and she teaches him how to steal things. Cosma does, and steals her panties. This is the panty stealing episode. Cosma steals this girl's panties and then bullies her into bargaining them back, and then he steals Megumin's panties. Listen, I don't like to go into like the anime age argument, because I know it's like almost always, you know, ambiguous. I know it's anime and you're always gonna have that one guy that's like, well, it's a drawing on a page. And for the most part, I can actually kind of almost applaud Konosuba, because for a good 75% of it, it does keep in mind the ages of its characters, and a lot of the creepy things that happen between like Kazuma and another character are between him and Darkness, a character who is older than him. But the rare occasion that something creepy happens between him and Megumin is really uncomfortable. But, you know, we won't dig into that, because of course it's anime. Like, I've seen worse. It does what it does. Like, whatever. It's seasonal garbage. Let's move on. Anyway, the panty stealing bit, it's not funny. That's the thing. That's the takeaway. The town is under siege, but is by cabbages. Flying cabbages. In episode 3, you find out that in this world they harvest cabbages, but the cabbages fly. It could be Boku no Pico. That's true. It could be Boku no Pico, and it's not. I did not make you guys watch Boku no Pico. You're welcome. Yeah, so the cabbages, they fly. You'll notice that a lot of the stuff that kind of happens in the show, like, comes completely out of nowhere. So, like, there will be this completely random setup, like, oh, the cabbages fly, and then it'll, like, never come up again. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. This is kind of where they, it's kind of where they find out that Darkness is a masochist, because the cabbages keep, like, beating into her, and she's, like, being really weird about it. Like, I feel weird, because Darkness is, like, the only character that I've consistently enjoyed. And, like, on paper, like, her character thing is just as cheesy as all the others. I don't know. I'll get into why I like her later. Pippy sippy. Do I have any notes for episode 3? Some of these I do have a few notes for, and some episodes I don't. Yeah, I don't have anything for episode 3. Episode 3 is one of the episodes of all time. In episode 4, Darkness gets her armor repaired from the cabbage attack, and the show takes a moment to marinate on how weird everyone is. Like, there's this weird shot where it, like, cuts to Darkness, who's, like, talking about getting pillaged by a monster, and then it cuts to Megumin having a moment with her staff and something big and hard. You can connect the dots. Then Aqua's also there. I don't remember what she's doing, but she's also doing something completely weird. Another Aqua ass shot. I don't know which one that is, but I'll give you the final tally at the end. Kazuma also gets a new outfit. It's fine. It's the one you see in my little wonderful little picture that captures the mood of the entire show. This wonderful, definitely accurately representing picture that I have placed upon my stream. It's cool. The issue is that The Rising of the Shield Hero is, like, my favorite anime of all time right now. So I know of a much more iconic man who wears a green cape. This is alright, though. It's fine. It's fine for what it is. The problem is that he's such an asshole. At this point, I was a third of the way through the show by episode 4, and he still just sucked. Like, and I was kind of heartbroken to see that like, really doesn't change. And well, like, while you're listening to me complain about Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World 2016, you should know that I'm fully aware that this is one of those gag isekais. It's of the same tone and length of, like, Okasan Online, where, like, it takes the trope that it's using and it just kind of breaks it like a pixie stick, and it's like, yeah, sick, now it's satire. I know that a lot of it is not meant to be taken seriously. A lot of this, like, the negative things I have to say, like, isn't from a perspective of me, like, being seriously critical about an anime. It's just me being disappointed that the product that everybody hyped it up to be was not the product that I got. That's all. Like, I'm being so critical on this satire isekai because I'm bitter. I will admit it, I am bitter. However, this is like episode 4 is the first instance of the first Demon Lord's general rolling in, and this is where I'm connecting back to when I said that like sometimes the humor of Konosuba works, because the scenes with this first general in it, I don't remember his name here, I'll look it up right now. Tell me what his name is. Tell me what his name is. Tell me what his name is. Wait, is it this guy? Yeah, Baldia. This is Baldia. I will get a picture of him for a second in like a minute. But Baldia rolls up, and the scenes with Baldia in them are funny. Like, Baldia's hilarious. He's like this armored, like headless horseman kind of guy. But what gets me is that the horse is also headless. It's like a genuinely funny concept, and his banter with the girls is like really good. And that's when I realized what my problem with the show was. The problem is Kazuma Sato. He's like, he has the personality of a cutting board. Like, he's like awful. His banter with the girls isn't funny. It makes all the jokes fall flat. As protagonist, he's kind of garbage. Even in like the most like silly and like non-serious of like shows, like those short like seasonal shows, I like to like the characters that I am investing time and effort into watching, and I can't invest that kind of time into a character as conceited and selfish and just mean as Kazuma Sato, and as a result it like rubs off on the rest of the cast. Like, he actually brings down the quality of the rest of the cast, because when Aqua, Megumin, and Darkness are bantering with what did I say his name was? Baldera? Baldy? Baldy. We're gonna call him Baldy. When the girls are bantering with Baldy, it's hilarious. He's like, the whole reason why he rolls up to the show, to the town in the first place, is that Megumin wants to practice her explosion, but she doesn't know, like, she's getting noise complaints from the town. And so finally she finds the she finds this ancient castle on like in these mountains, and she makes Kazuma take her to the ancient castle so that he can carry her back home, because she can only use it once, right? But she's been blowing up this castle every single day, and that's where Baldy lives. That's where Baldy's Basics lives. So he rolls up to the town, and he's pissed off that someone's been blowing up his house literally every single day for the last week. It's amazing. It's incredible, and like his acting is on point. Like, he's willing to like go on this super dramatic back and forth, which is what the show needs. Like, the show needs to be as high energy as its concept, and because Kazuma is so cynical, it's just not. It's like really not. Okay, I'll stop on my rant. We'll come back to it in more detail later. But just be aware. I like Baldy's Basics. He's pretty cool. Yeah, I wrote down that he's the best part of the whole show. I did like, he actually got to me. But then the show immediately puts a damper on it, because there's a moment where he wants to cast this like death spell on Megumin. And he's like, in 7 days you're gonna die, abracadabra. And this Darkness like takes the shot, right? And the whole issue is, he's like, listen, I'll spare your life if you can come to my castle and you can break through my guards, right? But they're a dog shit team, so you're thinking, oh, this is gonna be funny. The show is finally going somewhere. This is gonna be hysterical. And then the show delivers the first example of like a really awful payoff. I say the words really awful. It's really not that dramatic. It's more like the payoff to the joke, like the punchline of the joke is like understatement, you know? Like the point is that like the result of like all this energy that's being pent up is underwhelming, and that makes it funny. Of course, in this instance, it's being that like Darkness and Kazuma, they start hyping each other up, like, yeah, we're gonna go to this guy's castle, we're gonna beat up his guards, we can do it. And then Aqua, being a goddess, just dispels the curse, and that's it. Like, you finally think the show is gonna go somewhere because they keep talking about how they need to go somewhere. Like, they didn't show up to this world to be wages. They didn't show up to be wage slaves. They didn't show up to, like, kill frogs and whatnot. They showed up to kill the Demon Lord. So when they finally start to, like, go somewhere and do something about it, nothing actually comes of it. And it is, like, I'm not mad. It's just a little disappointing is all. Do I have any notes on episode 4? I might have some. Oh yeah, the one that I wrote for episode 4 was, it's the exact same jokes as before, but the Demon Lord's general makes it funny because his actor is on point. I know he's not around for long and the show's gonna return to its lukewarm garbage and fucking That's what I had to say about episode 4. Or episode 5. No, yeah, that was episode 4. Episode 5, Cosma kicks off bitching again. Give it up for Cosma. Give it up for Cosma, the king of bitching. Aqua's sick of being broke, so she begs the party to go on a quest. They set off to purify a lake. Aqua ass shot moment. They put her in a cage and put the cage in the lake because all she has to do to purify the lake is touch it. Also, Aqua doesn't pee apparently, and neither does Megumin, but it's, they spend a really long time on this pee bit. I don't know what it is, like, Aqua claims that she doesn't pee, and then Megumin says that she also doesn't pee, but it's like she's clearly lying, and then, like, as if the joke hasn't gone on long enough, Darkness says she also doesn't pee, but she's, like, doing a weird, like, piss dance, like, in the corner, and Kazuma's like, you clearly have to pee. This isn't the first time the show has a piss moment also. I don't know what it is with this show and piss, but at some point it's just like it brings the piss back, and I'm like, stop bringing back the piss. I lost my place. Aqua gets attacked by gators in the cage, but she manages to finish purifying the lake, and she's traumatized afterwards. Like, she won't talk to anybody, and like she won't even come out of the cage. So they have to like cart the cage through town, and that's when they get noticed by this dude named Kyoya. Now Kyoya is based. He's voiced by Billy Kometz, and I love Billy Kometz. He is a fellow like Japanese high school student who died a while back and was greeted by Aqua and sent to this world to also kill the Demon Lord. He brought with him this like super holy sword, and he's been pretty successful. What did I write? Hold on. What did I write about him? I said Kyoya is introduced. He kills a dragon and gets bitches. He's got these two like these two groupies around him at all times. And like they're pretty funny. The only issue is that he's an arrogant shit. So it's like when Kazuma beats him, it's like an arrogant shit beating up another arrogant shit, and like you don't really get the kind of like cathartic or like comedic reward that comes out of an arrogant shit being beat up. But you know, it is what it is. We're not here to nitpick. However, the thing is, Kyoya is in love with Aqua. He's like down bad for Goddess Aqua, and that's about it. That's his whole shtick, is that he's holier than thou and he loves Aqua. This is the second scene that like really got to me, was the sparring match. Because of course Kyoya sees Aqua in the cage and is like, you fucking monster Kazuma, beat me in a battle. And Kazuma completely cuts him off and steals his sword, and it's pretty funny. But then once again, there's a really funny moment, and then the show immediately ruins it, because then he starts like graphically describing how he's going to steal his Kyoya's groupies' panties if they don't run away, and he starts talking about how he can feel the panties before he even casts the spell, and it's really weird and awkward, and why does this show keep going on so long about these weird unfunny bits? Anyway, he actually, like, Kyoya then comes back, like later in the episode, he comes back while the team is like, while the gang is sitting at the pub, and he starts threatening Kazuma again, but then Aqua beats the shit out of him because he had in his holier than thou glory, he had bent the bars to her cage, and the guildmaster took the fee for bending the cage out of her reward for getting almost eaten by alligators. So she punches the shit out of him and tells him that he's gonna pay the rest back. Yeah, and then basically this is the episode where, so Aqua being a goddess has been a secret. So episode 5 is where they tell Darkness and Megumin about Aqua being a goddess. And it's pretty cool. Then the general comes back, the based general, based Baldi's basics. He comes back. What notes do I have for episode 5? Episode 5, okay, there's a moment where Kyoya first shows up, where Darkness almost beats his ass because Aqua did not give him permission to touch her. And for that I wrote, Darkness, slay pussy queen, girl boss, consent master, go. And then I said, Kyoya is a dick, LMAO. I said, Return of the General, let's go. And that's where I'm at. Return of based Baldi's basics. Episode 6. The general accuses the team of continuing to blow up his castle, which is true. Aqua has been helping Megumin behind Kazuma's back. Blah blah, sex joke, the castle is big and hard, woohoo. Aqua fucks his shit up kinda, kills his headless horse. Then he gets mad and sends his minions after her. They lead the minions to the general and demand Megumin explode them. It's actually a pretty unique thing. Some of the strategies that the team cooks up, like, they're not so bad. Like, they're actually pretty good. And then some of them are like, oh, the powers only work when the narrative demands it. It doesn't kill them, so the villagers try unsuccessfully to keep Baldi's basics at bay until Kyoya arrives. Darkness is the queen as usual. They find out that the general's weakness is water and have Aqua conjure a flood. Remember that they have Aqua conjure a flood because this is another point of contention I have with Kazuma Sato later down the line. It doesn't kill him, but Kazuma steals his head using a steel spell, and then they use it to play soccer, and then they get rid of him, and the show's gonna go back to being bad because based Baldi's basics is no longer in it. I don't think I have anything for episode 6. Yeah, I just wrote down that the show is only funny when based Baldi's basics is here, so oopsie daisy, they killed him, so there's no more funny. Actually, there's a little bit more funny. And then, but for the most part... Okay, in episode 7, Kazuma wakes up back in Purgatory. He needs money, but almost everything that they make goes toward the damages for the flood that Aqua caused. The rest of the heroes got the cut of the reward too, so the quests are open, but Kazuma thinks all the available ones suck. They decide to go kill snow sprites. They kill a bunch, but then Megumin uses her explosion spell and wakes up the Winter Shogun, the king of the snow sprites. Aqua ass shot. This loops back around him being in Purgatory because the Winter Shogun decapitates his head. He's excited. He meets Eris. So Eris is the patron goddess of this world that he's been reincarnated in, and she's also Aqua's junior. So Aqua is one above Eris. He's relieved that Eris is not as conceited as Aqua. He's excited by the concept of being born into a rich Japanese family like she promises, but after recounting what he's been through, he starts to cry. Aqua resurrects him and bullies Eris into letting Kazuma go back to the world he was already in, and then he learns that that's when he learns the Shogun decapitated him, and Aqua keeps one sprite to keep the drinks cold or something, and Kazuma reflects on how he prefers Eris over Aqua. Which is fine, but let's be honest, Eris does not deserve Kazuma. Kazuma sucks. If he ever gets a girlfriend, I don't know. I'm gonna have to step in. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to step in. What was this, episode 7? Okay, I have a lot to say about episode 7 because episode 7 is a very Kazuma-centric episode and I don't like Kazuma. Kazuma is crying about the money he doesn't have after the damage Aqua caused when he's literally the one who begged her to conjure a flood. She only cast the flood spell because he wanted her to, and now he's like, oh, Aqua, it's all your fault that we owe all this money, we're in so much debt, Aqua, it's all your fault. And it's like, dude, you were literally the one who begged her to conjure the flood, what are you talking about? He continues to complain about being broke while then complaining that there's nothing for him to do because he doesn't like the quests available. He's literally the worst type of person. The guy who's like, oh, everything is awful and like it's so bad. Like we're poor and broken. We need money, but we're not gonna fucking do anything about it. It's dog shit, man. Again, I understand that this is more like a jokey isekai than anything else. I'm not complaining out of a place of genuine spite. There's an obvious Star Wars reference. Like this is important. This is the first mention of the destroyer, which is a moving fortress. It looks like, I'll tell you what it looks like when it's here, but it's this moving fortress. And when they bring it up, there is an extremely obvious reference to Star Wars. Like the drum beat to the Imperial March starts playing when they when they bring up the Megumin says that not. I think it's darkness. Darkness goes not a destroyer, the destroyer, and then the music goes dun 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 dun, and I'm like, you listen. There's like this really obvious Star Wars reference, and I don't know how to feel about it. Don't know how to feel about it. Also, so winter has come in the little town, and I think their winter clothes are so cute. Hold on, let me see if I have like Suba winter clothes, because their winter clothes are so cute. The Google search results are mostly Megumin, and I can't even blame them because Megumin is a freaking cutie pie. A will baby, if you will. Anyway, yeah, I can't find any group shots of them, and I'm a little bit too lazy, but, you know, Google it yourself. Yeah, I also wrote down that Kazuma's conceited, again, of course, and then that Eris does not deserve him. Eris is too good for this world, and, Kazuma is the worst. He's actually the worst. Okay, in episode 8, Aqua almost burns Kazuma's tracksuit in a fire, and in their fight, the fire is blown out. Aqua ass shot again. They go to the shop and they meet someone they've apparently met before. This is kind of a problem with the show, is that like somebody will like immediately, it's not really a problem, but somebody will like pop on the screen and then they'll start talking to them like they're familiar, and then you'll be sitting there like, wait, what? Who are these people? And then Kazuma will come over like as the narrator and be like, oh, this is X. We met her during Y. And it's like, well, why didn't you start with that? This happens several times throughout the show, and it's fine. This is more of a nitpick than anything else. But they meet Wiz. So Wiz is she's a shopkeeper, and she's a lich. She's an undead, and Aqua hates her. But the problem is that Wiz is like the best girl in the show, next to Darkness. She's really great. She shares a voice actress with Philo from the Rising the Shield Hero, which makes her even better. Wiz is one of the Demon Lord's generals too, and she didn't like the other guy, based Baldi's Basics, because he was a pervert, which, oopsie daisies, but he's still based Baldi's Basics. Kazuma wants to learn the Lich powers, but Aqua is unwilling. She causes trouble, blah blah blah. It's not really relevant. It's a little bit of a slog to get there, I won't lie. But they take a quest and set out to go exorcise some ghosts with the promise that if they exorcise them, they'll get to stay at a mansion instead of inside of some horse stables. There's something on my tongue, and if you heard that, then no you didn't, because I'm a Pippi Day frog and I don't have a tongue. Later that night, Kazuma wakes up surrounded by haunted dolls. He goes to Aqua's room, but Megumin is already in there, also afraid of the dolls. This is the second weird pissed moment of the show, because they both have to go to the bathroom, but Megumin wants Aqua to stand outside, but Aqua's not there, so she has Kazuma do it instead. But Kazuma also has to pee, and they spend like this really long time talking about pee, and I just want them to stop, but they won't. They won't stop talking about pee. They won't stop saying the word pee. Something like toilet. I don't know what this show's obsession is with toilet things, but this is the second instance and I need it to stop. It just drags on way too long. But it turns out the whole reason why the house is haunted in the first place is because Aqua hated Wiz so much that she put a barrier on the graveyard. The whole thing is that Aqua promised to exorcise the spirits from the graveyard every night, but she didn't want to. So she just put a magic barrier on the graveyard and hoped that the ghost would get bored and go away. But the ghost did not get bored and go away. In fact, the only place for them to go was the mansion. So they didn't accept the reward because basically all Aqua did was clean up a mess that she made. Yeah, but they are still allowed to stay in the mansion and keep warm during the winter, which is pretty based. Cool. Da-da-da-da. For my episode 8 notes, I wrote, everyone in this show sucks. Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen a little bit of a story time. When I was younger, I went to a real life anime club. I went to an anime club at my local public library, and one of the shows that we watched, hang on, let me go fetch a picture, was called Sasami Magical Girls Club. And we watched that so often. I don't even know if I've seen, like, I'm pretty sure I have just osmosis to the whole series, even if I don't remember like every detail of it. Let me find a good picture. And I don't know if you guys know this, but if you've ever heard of Tenchi Mura, Tenchi Muyo, sorry, Tenchi Muyo. I haven't seen the Tenchi series. Let me find it good. There we go. All right. So Tenchi Muyo, or the Tenchi series, was an anime that aired like back in the 90s. I don't know if you guys watch Hazel on YouTube, but Hazel has a really good video about Tenchi Universe. There it is. Sorry, I'm gonna fill up the screen with pictures for a second. This is Tenchi Muyo. You've probably seen a couple of the characters. I know some of them have some like really iconic hair. That might actually be from the remake, but I'm so sorry about that. I don't have the time. But here's Sasami Magical Girls Club. Sasami Magical Girls Club is a spin-off of the Tenchi universe. Don't ask me how or why. I don't know what the differences are. I don't know what it is, but all of this to say that when I was young, I spent a significant amount of time sort of like passively absorbing Sasami Magical Girls Club, and there's a very iconic moment when Sasami makes her first few friends, where this links back to Konosuba's piss problem, I promise, where like they're outside of school and one of them goes, I have to go to the bathroom, and Sasami goes, oh, I'll come with you, and she's like, are you sure? And then in one of the most iconic moments of my anime childhood, Sasami turns around, holds out her hand, and goes, best friends always go to the bathroom together, silly. And that's all I can think of when I watch this episode where Kazuma and Megumin run around a haunted house looking for a toilet and talking about piss. That's all I can think about. And that's all the notes I had on episode 8. Episode 9, we first learn that Aqua's stats will never improve despite her level, and she'll always be stupid. We meet Keith and Dust, who are some adventurers that Kazuma meets, and as I'm looking over my notes, I am noting that this is the worst episode in the show. Episode 9 of Konosuba is actually in contest with episode 11, the final episode, for literally the worst episode of the show. The rest is like digestible. If you held a gun to my head and said, hey, watch Konosuba again, I would do it if you let me skip episodes 9 and 11. So yeah, buckle up, kids. We meet Keith and Dust, which are these two adventurers that Kazuma met before. Once again, Kazuma is completely familiar with them until he comes back in narrator mode and he explains who they are in post. It's literally the equivalent of your favorite YouTuber in the middle of a video essay cutting to like them wearing a different shirt and being like, okay, so editing YouTuber here, I actually made a mistake. It's literally the equivalent of that. But they introduce Kazuma to a shop run by two succubi. Well, more than two succubi, but they meet two succubi in the shop. It's a shop run by succubi. And the whole point of the shop is they give you a card and you write down what you want to experience in a dream. A special kind of dream that is not dry and might get my Twitch account flagged if I say it out loud. So they give you a card and you have to write down your ideal not dry dream. And then given that you don't get so wasted that you can't sploosh, you will have the wet. Oh no, I said it. You'll have the not dry dream. I didn't say it just then. I didn't say it. Please don't tell Twitch that I said it. Anyway, I tried really hard for that too. I'm so disappointed I messed it up. Anyway, so they go to the shop and Cosmo like gets really weird. I literally wrote down, this is what I wrote down as the scene was happening. Cosmo is being a fucking creep. Oh my god, he keeps asking about age and consent and I hate him so much. Anyway, they have crab for dinner and it looks tasty. He like, okay, so he goes through and he asks this lady, are there any limits on age? Am I gonna get in trouble if I write down the name of somebody I know without their consent? Are there any limits on like anything? And he just asks the worst questions, the worst possible questions. How are we supposed to like this guy? I don't quite understand how on earth we're supposed to like this guy. Anyway, I digress. The crab is apparently godlike. He has some weird... Okay, Darkness's family sends her this crab, which is apparently really, really good. And it looks great. I like crab myself. I like crab meat. But the problem is that immediately after they have like this really weird like erotic eating scene, and that like totally ruins the crab moment for me. Even though I appreciate the crab a lot. I am a crab aficionado. It's pretty cool. It's great. So, okay, with the crab, Darkness's family sent this like top dollar alcohol. But if you remember what I said earlier, in order to have the not dry dream, you have to not drink alcohol. So Cosma starts having this weird like existential internal conflict about what he wants more, to like drink for one night and enjoy this time with his party, or if he wants to have the not dry dream about the women in his party. And it's really weird. But if you're thinking that the episode can't get any worse, you're kind of wrong. So Cosmic, like, he can't sleep at night. He like gets to like, he hypes himself up about the not dry dream a little too much. So he goes to take a bath, right? Children, if there are any children in the audience, please cover your ears, because this is not for small ears. Okay, while he's taking this bath, he dozes off and then he wakes up. And Darkness walks into the bath, obviously naked. And he demands that she wash his back, which regularly not illegal, but she like clearly says she doesn't want to, and he starts like yelling at her to do it because he's like convinced that this is the dream. I thought that they were gonna leave it like they were gonna do the thing where they leave it kind of vague as to whether or not Cosmo was in the dream or not. Sleepy on the stream. Whew. I thought they were gonna leave it vague as to whether or not Cosmo was sleeping or not, but they don't. They don't do that at all. They deadass are like, oh yeah, like this is happening in reality. Cosmo is trying to make Darkness do things she doesn't want to do in real life. And they just like go with it. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And it's it's weird. This show's weird. But a succubus breaks into the house, probably part of, you know, whatever service, you know, Cosmo bought. And a succubus breaks into the house, but Aqua finds her and traps her in a barrier. And they're gonna kind of fight about it. But blah blah blah. Kazuma tells them not to kill the succubus, and it's like a distraction, and she gets away. Then it goes to the next day. And this is why I say this is the worst episode. Because it cuts to Kazuma outside, sweeping off the grave in front of this manor. And Darkness is also there. And he's like, oh, if you're not gonna bring up what happened last night, then I will. He claims not to remember it, which is a lie, and then he blames the entire thing on Darkness. And doesn't, like, fully proclaims himself not to be at fault at all. This episode sucks. Like, it really sucks. And I don't like it very much at all. But then, like, we get interrupted because the Destroyer, which I mentioned earlier, is approaching. And I promise there's only 2 episodes left. I swear to God, I would not subject you to any more than that. Dum, dum. Okay, notes for episode 9. I didn't write down the timestamp, but at some point, there was a whole conversation with the succubus revolving around the phrase 2D waifu. I demand to be let out of this hell. And then immediately after, Kazuma says lit, which is great. Fantastic. Good job, Konosuba. So, in episode 10, the Destroyer is on its way. It looks like a Breath of the Wild guardian. Aqua isn't sure if she can break it, but she wants to try. They think Megumin could use her explosion powers to do it, but they're also unsure. And then Wiz rolls by and people cheer. So basically they're kind of setting up their own little team to like fight Armageddon, which is pretty cool if the show did anything to earn or deserve this battle. But I will leave my grievances of the show alone for now. Let's see here. So Darkness reveals that her real name is Dustinus Ford Lalatina, which I think is a lot better of a name than Darkness. I think the name Lalatina is really cool. She reveals that her family governs the land that the town is on, and that she feels some kind of like responsibility to protect the people that live there because they are technically her people. So she kind of stands like outside, and it's pretty great. I like this, like really solidifies Darkness as my favorite character. I like her name, I like her motivations, I like that she's like at least a smithereen, not as shallow as literally every other character in the show. She's just a nice like breath of fresh air, and I think she's an example of a gimmick done right. Not all of the gimmicks in the show really work, but I think Darkness kind of does. Then we have our fight with the Destroyer, and it's one of those like the opening song is playing in the background. So Aqua does manage to break the barrier, and it's pretty sick. Megumin and Wiz cast Explosion, and that takes it down, but it engages a self-destruct sequence and demands that all of its passengers evacuate because it's a moving fortress. It does what it do. And it just kind of slithers along. Again, it looks almost exactly like a guardian from Breath of the Wild. It's got those like spindly spider legs and whatnot. They have this moment where the minute that Darkness finds out that the fortress is going to explode, she decides she's not going to retreat because she wants to know what being blown up feels like. No, I'm not making this up. So she decides she's gonna stand and she's gonna get blown up, but all of the men of the town mistake this for like, oh, she's so brave, she's gonna sacrifice herself for the good of this town, and so they all join her in running off to go fight the fortress in a really like misconstrued kind of way, and it's kind of funny. Babies to me. I'm talking a lot, so I need a lot of water. They break into the ship and they find that the pilot is actually dead, and there's a diary sitting there that says the pilot is the guy who made the walking fortress, and he made the fortress because the kingdom that he was living in begged him to make a fortress. He tried to make the terms of creating the fortress as impossible as he could, but they managed to meet all of his expectations. And as a way to sort of dodge being executed, he agrees to their demands and builds the fortress, but it quickly goes out of control, and he realizes he's stuck in this moving fortress that has just ravaged his whole kingdom and burned it to the ground, and he has no way to control it. And so he kind of rots away and dies alone inside the fortress, and that's where they find him. They have a core called a Koronite or something like that that'll like destroy everything if it blows up. So they want Wiz to teleport it somewhere else, and they do that by sucking out Cosmo's life force and giving it to her so that she can then have enough magic to cast teleport. And so she just teleports the Koronite to a different location. But then, because we just can't end the episode yet, the fortress is actually overheating. So they have to go do something about the fact that the fortress is overheating. And what they end up doing is they end up having Megumin cast Explosion for the second time in a day, for the first time in the series. By taking energy from Aqua, giving it to Megumin, and then having Megumin cast her Explosion underneath. Don't ask me why blowing up the fortress that you just said would blow up from overheating and kill the town is the solution. Don't ask me why that is, but it sure is. It sure is. Lord, I've been lurking since you started. Tab muted, but I'm here to support. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good dip in the pond. Yep, they blow it up, and that's the end. That's okay. So episode 10 is kind of the formal season finale. We have this final battle. A lot of like loose ends are tied up. Like we learn Darkness's true identity. Megumin uses her explosion spell twice. Aqua is still there. Kazuma hasn't changed at all. He's still the worst character in the show. And it's miserable. It's a miserable experience. But there's still one more episode. And at the very end of episode 10, Peace comes back to the town, but then a kingdom's military comes to the guild to arrest Kazuma because he has, when they had Wiz teleport that Koronatite away from the fortress, she randomly teleported it above a noble's manor and blew the whole thing up, and they're accusing Kazuma of treason, and they want to bring him in to get arrested. There's one more episode, and I'll let you wager whether or not this ever comes up again. Because the answer is no. The last episode is another terrible, 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 raunchy, awful, horrible episode. It is called God's Blessing on This Wonderful Choker, and it is like a final jab to the show where they go to Wiz's shop and they meet a character named Yunyun, who is Megumin's self-proclaimed rival, although Megumin doesn't seem to share those feelings. They get into some shenanigans, they wreck the store, blah blah blah, and in the chaos, Kazuma puts on this cursed choker. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this movie when it came out, but a long time ago there was a Tom and Jerry movie about a magic ring. And anybody who puts the ring on can't take it off. And what ends up happening is that Jerry puts it on his head and he runs around the whole time with a magic ring on his head, and it's stuck there, but they eventually do get it off. But then, Tom puts it on, and the magician comes home to find Tom has put on his ring, and Tom's in big trouble. I don't know if any of you saw that movie as a kid, but that's basically the plot of this final episode. Except except instead of a ring, it's a choker. And it'll kill Kazuma. It will kill him. The thing is, it's like a wish granting choker, and like he has to like his wish needs to come true. It's like a scam. So like it doesn't actually grant your wishes. It just like forces you to grant your own wishes. Otherwise, it'll slowly choke you and kill you over the course of 4 days. So Kazuma's coping with that. I say coping in heavy quotes because all he ever does is like use it to force the girls to do these really like I wrote down every single war crime that Kazuma commits with the excuse that, oh, this could be my wish, this thing that you're gonna do for me could take off the collar and then I won't die. It's really awful, and I made sure to write down every single one of them. Okay, so crimes Kazuma commits for the wish collar. He lays on Wiz's thighs and rubs on them. He makes Darkness take off her armor and do push-ups so that he can watch her boobs on the floor. Her push-ups also suck. Her form is just awful. He forces Aqua to buy him food. He forces Megumin and Union to play strip, rock, paper, scissors. They are children, by the way. He makes Darkness do 100 sit-ups. He made Wiz let him lay on her boobs. He made Union wear a bunny outfit and Megumin wear a school gym uniform. Again, children. Told Aqua to fan him and Darkness to do squats. Demanded they all bathe him except for Darkness, who had to bathe in front of him. And had Aqua conjure a hot spring. And finally, to get a taste of his own medicine, Aqua shoots boiling water up his ass. Then on the 4th day, so this takes up like 3 days. It's 3 days of Kazuma being just the worst and proving that he is like one of the worst characters ever conceived in fiction. But on the final day, on the day he's gonna die, Kazuma gets really depressed about it. And so they all hug him as if he deserves that. He doesn't. But that ends up being what he wished for. He wished that they would comfort him more, and so when they hug him, it takes off the collar, except right before it falls off, he like proves himself to be the most disgusting piece of shit all over again. Like, he just talks about all of their boobs and then he dies again, and that's how the show ends. That is how the show ends. That's it. That's the whole first season. It ends on that note. Now, I do have some pros and cons because I didn't want to spend this whole like time like shitting on the show. Again, I don't hate it. There are shows that I haven't even been able to get through, and I did make it all the way through this show, so that puts it somewhere at least. The final Aqua ass shot counter came to 9. There's probably more, but again, my criteria was a little bit different than normal. So the pros of the show: it has a cute ending. Like the winter character designs are super adorable. Again, I think Darkness is a really interesting character. She's probably my favorite. Darkness and Wiz are probably my favorite out of the cast. Good enough for me to actually have Ink the Octoling. Thanks so much for the first time chat. Konnichiwa from Japan. Hello, how are you? How are you doing? I think the Demon Lord's generals are really funny. Like, Based Baldi's Basics and Wiz are both like really strongly written characters. I think Rainbow character design is always. I've gotten a maiden. Yeah, me too. Me too. Congratulations, though. Congratulations on acquiring your maiden. Parentheses wife. The cast. Okay. The cast for both the English and the Japanese versions are, like, it's a cast of really talented actors, which I can never fault because, like, even if the characters portrayed are terrible, the performance is still really great. And you can't really fault it for that. I'm also kind of a sucker for rainbow character design, so like Megumin being red, Darkness being yellow, Kazuma being green, and Aqua being blue. I always like that kind of dynamic. And as I said before, I like the staff designs, and some of the music isn't half bad. Unfortunately, like one of my favorite things about the show is that it's short. I sincerely did. Like, I really wanted to like the show. I wanted to start the series with something that I could, like, laugh with and laugh at and whatnot, and something that would be really good, and this show just was not that. And I'm really disappointed about it. The cons that I wrote down, at least to start, are it's a bland execution of a tired concept. And I don't mean that to say that I don't like the isekai genre. Again, I really love the Rising of the Shield Hero. I'm currently making my way through on my own time and making my way through that time I got reincarnated as a slime. I'm really enjoying that. Shows like ReZero are definitely on my watch list, things that I like totally intend to enjoy. I've seen isekais in the past. I have a lot of isekais on my watch list. The issue is that a lot of the isekais that I enjoy, and a lot of, like, it's something that a lot of modern isekais are doing, is they're like putting a certain twist on the concept of the isekai. Like, if you wanna get serious, the isekai boom was kind of started by the popularity of Sword Art Online. The idea that you could be transported into a video game or a fantasy world, and then you'd like be your own protagonist and you'd go on your own adventure. But from there, you get concepts like the Rising of the Shield Hero, where the rules of the world that you've been transported in are a lot stricter. There are a certain way that things have to go. You can't just like take control of your own story. You have That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, where Rimuru arrives in the world starting as a monster instead of a human, and beginning to explore his own powers and take charge in his own way. You have the spider one. There is a spider one where the protagonist is a spider. There's like a lot of things that modern isekais are doing to kind of mix up the bag when it comes to, oh, you've been transported into a new world and you have powers and whatnot, here's your stuff. Konosuba tries to do this with its dynamic of, oh, you've been transported into a new world, but everyone sucks. The issue is that it gets really old and really tired, purely because Kazuma is the worst. Purely because he's an asshole. It could, like, the show, like, seems to celebrate a lot of victories that it hasn't really earned, because it just continuously shoots itself in the foot with its awful characters. And I say awful characters, I mean Kazuma. Kazuma's, like, energy bleeds out into the rest of the cast, because as I said, when they're faced with other characters like the Demon Lord's generals, the bantering between the cast and the general is really good. Like, when Kazuma's not around, Aqua, Megumin, and Darkness are like really strong characters, but the minute you drop like cynical and cynical and negative, the minute you drop Kazuma in there, like, something changes with the chemistry of the entire cast, and the whole, like, everything starts to fall flat for some reason. So, like, it doesn't really work out because there's not enough good to balance out the bad. Like, everyone sucks, and they're all mean to each other, and they have terrible luck, and they never do anything, you know, like, it has a lot stacked against it. The characters are mean to each other, and like, I don't know, it just like doesn't do a lot to separate itself from the kind of like, as the isekai boom moves forward, the standard for individuality in the isekai genre sort of starts to rise, and I just don't think Konosuba really comes to match that standard. Again, this is like a gag isekai from 2016, but that's my thought. And I say this as a person who's watched Okasan online, which is a very similar kind of like, it's got a unique concept, but it doesn't take itself seriously. For those who don't know, Okasan online is your standard, you get transported into a video game, but your mom has to come with you. I could go, this is for another episode, I could go hours about Okasan online. It is such a cute concept that is like blundered so horribly, especially near the end, where like you really want to enjoy it, but like the later episodes just like keep punching you with like, will you still like me if I'm an absolute degenerate? And you start to wonder who wrote this shit. But yeah, Like, it's fine. It's fine for what it is. I totally lost my train of thought. I'm sorry that we came through with a show that like I wasn't a fan of, because I really wanted to enjoy this show. And like I'm not the type to sort of seek out trash, especially for something like this. I don't seek out things that I know I'm gonna have a negative opinion on. I wanted to have like a good opinion of Konosuba. I was expecting to have a good opinion of Konosuba, and the fact that it's not really shaped out that way is something I feel really bad about. So I don't know what next week's anime is gonna be, but I will consider it heavily. Probably maybe like release it tomorrow morning, and we'll see how that goes. Of course, you're gonna run into the issue of like some things will be good and some things will be bad. That's just like the nature of watching things that you are completely blind to or have never seen before. But I really hope that throughout the course of the Anime Club series, we can have more good than bad. That's my hope, at least. Konosuba has a second season, I think. Would I watch the second season? I don't know. Again, I don't hate it, you know, like it's fine for what it is. But I'm not sure if I like it enough to like invest myself in a whole nother season. It's definitely something I'd have to revisit at a later date and like ask myself, really, like, is this really what you want? I'd be willing to give it a chance, but not now. I would have to wait a significantly long period of time before I ever kind of touch this again. It's okay. I don't want to give it a rating. It's pretty mid, and I think a lot of my opinion of it being mid is that it was like way overhyped for me. Like, everybody was talking about how funny it was and how great it was, and my disappointment that it didn't live up to the hype is probably a large portion of how I actually feel for the show. So I understand fully that my opinion is very much tainted by the experience that I had while watching it. Woohoo! But overall, it's fine. It's an okay show. It's alright. I'll probably, in about like a couple of weeks or so, I'll probably remember it about as much as I remember Okasan online, which is not very much. It's unfortunate, but unfortunately it is what it is. I've done so much talking this stream. I've done so much talking. I'm just like, my throat is crusty. I don't really know how to wrap this up. I know we're gonna raid pretty soon because it's been about 2 hours, and that's kind of the stream limit here. But I am oh my god, I'm suddenly tired. I don't know when, but I hit a wall at some point, and hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm not gonna sneeze. I am gonna sneeze. I'm not gonna sneeze. I can feel the sneeze, but it's just not there. Yeah, I think, okay. It feels weird to say, but I think after our like little analysis, we're pretty okay to kind of like wrap it up and see if anybody's streaming anybody for us to raid. Thank you so much for coming to the very first week of Anime Club. Again, we'll try to be doing every Wednesday. We're gonna try to start earlier. We're gonna try to start around 8, but we're gonna try to do every Wednesday at 8. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's the same thing as it is here on Twitch. It is twitch.tv/Frogberryz. My Twitter is @Frogberryz. That's where I release all of my information about upcoming streams. You're gonna find your upcoming anime to watch for the week. This week, I really want to focus on making kind of a watch guide for like 12 episode anime, where I just kind of release like what a good way to like consume a whole anime in a week would be, because I know it's difficult for a lot of people. So I'd like to make like a little template. I think that'd be really fun. But yeah, I don't know what next week will be yet. Again, I'll probably release it tomorrow. I'm thinking doing like maybe something slice of life, but like fun slice of life. So maybe like My Dress Up Darling, or like Kaguya-sama Love is War. I want to try to make it something I've never seen though, but I'd like to like cover a lot of genres. So there's a lot to pick from. So you guys will know tomorrow. And that will be kind of about it. We're going to be rating Saren Ribbity, who is making some art tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming. I don't know about the rest of the week. I might bring back Hollow Historia. We might be covering Hololive 2020 on Friday. So stay tuned for that. I'll keep you guys posted. As for tomorrow, I'd like to maybe like play a video game for once, because I haven't done that like in a while. So we might do that. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll keep you guys fresh and ready to rumble, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. Well, bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Bye, 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 bye. Has the raid started yet?